What do you like about your job?
What do I like about my job? Well, I like being able to help people, like I said before, and I really like books. And I like seeing kids come in and helping them learn how to use the library. And, there's lots of reasons I like the library. I like to be able to help the people in the community.
Why is there so many books here?
Well, traditionally that's what libraries are. We have lots of books for people to be able to borrow so they can learn new things and they can read new stories.
And I have another question.
Okay.
Why is there movies here?
Well, because that's another type of material that people like to borrow. So you can come in and you can pick out movies to watch as well.
Because I have one too.
You
And
have,
I've been here before. That's why I have some.
you have some movies from here.
Yeah, I haven't turned yet. You put all the books back.
How do we put all the books back? Well, we put them back in alphabetical order usually, and some of them we put back in number order. So we go by the author's last name, and we file books away like that. And then the non-fiction books, the ones that tell us facts, they have special numbers on them, and so we put them back in order of their numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, I got 2 questions right now.
2 questions, okay.
How do you help people in the library?
We answer a lot of questions. So if somebody needs to know some information or where to find something, we help them with that. We help people with computers. We get asked a lot of different kinds of questions, and we do our best to answer them.
Okay. How do you get a library card?
When you need a library card, you come in and you fill out a form that we have, and then we put the information into the computer, and we can give you a card. Things like your address and your phone number and things like that.
How do you remember where to put the books back?
How do we remember where to put them back? Well, we have a system in terms of where they go, and we all of us who work here know where they belong, and we're able to find out where they go and put them back in their proper places so we can help people find them another time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you like most about your job?
Well, I like to help people, so I get to do a lot of that. And I also love books, and there's books everywhere, so it's a pretty good place.
How many books do you have in the library?
Oh, that's a big question. I'd have to look up the exact answer, but there's tens of thousands of books in here, and other materials too. We have a lot of different materials that have a barcode on them that people can check out. Lots. Plus, we're part of a system, a library system that we can borrow books from them as well.
Movies.
Movies. How many movies? I don't know the exact number, but I could look it up.
Maybe 500.
That's actually possible. I don't know. I'd have to look up the exact answer to that question. I'm not really sure. But there are a lot. You can see them all.
I wouldn't want to count them.
No, I don't think I want to count them either. I'd use the computer to help me find that information.
What do you guys say?
Thank you. Job. What is the hardest part of your job?
And difficult things that I really it's not a real demanding job most of the time, but just the stress level is incredible most of the time.
Okay, so my second question is, how long does it take to fight a fire, fight fires?
Well,
Depends on what kind of fire it is. Depends, like I said, it depends what kind of fire it is. You could be an hour, you could be 6 hours. It's hard to say.
we were at a barn fire one time that was right full of hay, 12 hours. We had, yeah.
So,
What happens if your fire truck breaks down and you're on your way to a fire?
That's an excellent question. That's why we have more than one, and that's why if it's a good-sized fire, we have other fire departments coming in, like Hebron, Shushan, Rupert, Cambridge, Greenwood. Hoses we carry. Actually, you want to go to the back and see what we have what we use. This is the 3 lines. wait for the camera to get here. The three different, come on right over. The three different hoses we use. 1 3/4. That's the nicest one to use. That's but if we have a larger fire where we really need to put a lot of water to it, 2.5 inch right here. And then if we want to move water from like a pond, a lake, or a river to the fire truck, the 5 inch right up here. This is the big stuff right here. That will move a pile of water. And on this truck, I want to say
1,500 feet.
there's 1,500 feet of this
What
stuff.
do you like about being a firefighter?
What do you like about being a firefighter?
My
Okay.
daughter has classified me. I'm the type of person, I was in the military. I love thunderstorms. Someday, one of my dream vacations is to go and see a tornado. So, when you go inside of a building with flames to your left and flames to your right, and flames in front of you, and hopefully there's none behind you, it's a heck of a rush. It really is.
How do you put out a fire? The fire.
Okay.
Water.
That's one way. Grass is on fire, and you know we didn't have enough water to take care of it. What if we went in with some rakes and shovels and stuff like that, and we put a spot like this that was just bare dirt, you know, like this wide. The fire's going to come up to it, and it's got no place to go. It's going to go out. It ran out of fuel. So that, you know, that's actually for the grass and brush fires that we do. That puts out more fire than water does. Yep. If you get in there and you get raking and you rake all those leaves and little branches and stuff like that, you rake a nice path of just dirt. That fire's going to come right up to it. Hey, I ran out of something to burn, and you go out.
This time of year, the gear is hot that you wear to
And heavy.
and heavy.
I think somebody told me that once I'm all geared up with the air pack on, I put another 40 pounds on me.
Plus, you kind of sound like Darth Vader when you breathe.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, I do.
Do you guys have any other questions?
Nope. I got one.
Speak right up.
Actually, do. What you do if a rabbit jumped in your vehicle and started running everywhere?
A rabbit?
Yeah.
I'm not too afraid of rabbits. I think they're kind of cute and cuddly, and my daughter used to have one.
I have a rabbit.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's his name? Or her?
We're still trying to figure out a name. Plus, that kind of reminds me of a taco truck on window. You open it up and you serve tacos for it.
Hey, I'll take two. I'm kind of hungry.
What do you guys say?
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right.
You're very welcome.
All
How
right.
many animals do you think you take care of?
A day? Is that what you say? I would say we see anywhere between 20 and 30 animals a day. And that could be cats or dogs. Or it might be one day we might see more cats and one day we might see more dogs.
What is the hardest thing that you did for
The hardest thing I did for an animal would be,
what do you do every day?
okay, so what do I do every day? So dogs and cats come in and we do exams on them and we do vaccines on them. There might be sick animals that come in and we make them feel better. We also do surgeries on animals. We do x-rays to check to see if there's any broken bones. So we do a lot of things. We also do blood work. We're talking to clients constantly. And working on the computer a lot. Doing something to it that it didn't want to do but didn't understand why we were doing it. So we were having to maybe really hold it down to trim its nails or something. That would be the hardest part, I would say, for them. And them not being able to understand why we were doing it.
What do you like best about your job?
So the best part of my job is when the puppies and the kittens come in and I get to play with them. The other good part is when someone brings in a whole litter of puppies. Then we have like 8 puppies running around and we get to play with them.
What is the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part of my job would be when there's an animal that comes in that's sick, and it takes a lot of work to make them feel better.
And now just
What is the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part? That's a good one. Let's see. Sometimes it's inventory. Do you know what inventory is?
No.
All this stuff is inventory. And I go to the computer and I'll punch in that I want a set of brake pads for a customer's car, and my inventory will say I got them, and then I go to the shelf and they're not there. So that's not good. So it's always keeping up with inventory, trying to keep the right parts on the shelf so that the computer says I have it and I really have it. That's the tough part.
What is your favorite part about working at Napa?
I like the customers. I know just about everybody that comes in, and they're always nice, friendly people, and it's really gratifying to help when somebody comes in and they don't know what they're working on, or they might need a little help with their car, and I can help them with that. So that's really nice.
Okay.
how do you find the right parts?
Well, this isn't a very big store, so I'll have to give you a tour, show you where all the parts are, and I've been here long enough, I just know where they are. Sometimes a computer can help me because it'll show me a picture, and then I'll say, oh yeah, I remember where that is.
How much do you need to know about cars to work at Napa?
Quite a bit. It helps the more you know, because we don't just work on cars, we don't just sell car parts, we sell parts for tractors, parts for four-wheelers, parts for lawnmowers, all kinds of parts. So the more you know, the easier it is.
How do you know what parts people need?
Quite often they'll come in and tell me they need a headlight bulb, or they need brakes for their car. They'll tell me what they need, and then I just help them find it.
Do you provide from selling goods or services?
Both. We provide goods in parts or cleaning supplies, and also services. Sometimes they come in and they need advice on how to fix their car. Thank you.
Awesome.
Lucas and Tanner, and they're interviewing Mr. Rich from the Sheriff's Department.
Do you like your job? Why or why not?
I do like my job. I actually love my job. I like coming to work every day, and every day is different, so I never will know what I'm going to get involved in. So that kind of makes it neat. It's not the same thing every day.
What is there something you do not like about your job?
Well, sometimes I don't like having to work overnights and work the weekends, or sometimes I have to work the holidays like Christmas. I have to be away from home and family.
Do you have to work at night?
Sometimes I do have to work at night, but most of the time I work the day shift.
How long?
What's that one?
How long?
How long do I have to work? Or
At
well, if I have to work the night shift, it's usually 2 in the afternoon to midnight. And if I have to work the overnight, it's usually midnight to 7 in the morning.
What it's like to be a police officer.
Can I describe what it's like to be a police officer? Well, it's kind of a diverse job. It's helping people sometimes when they need help with certain situations. Other times it's dealing with situations that aren't always so good. But it can be a challenging job sometimes.
How do you know how to respond to it?
Well, we have dispatchers that take the calls, whether it be a 911 call, which is, you guys know about 911, you call if there's an emergency, or if it's just a cows loose call. So dispatch lets me know what I need to go, or what I need to respond to, and whether if it's an emergency, I need to go lights and siren, or if I can just take my time. So dispatch is really, they determine what I'm going to and how I'm going to it. Everything's in here, pretty much. I can do everything in the car
I just spotted this.
that I need to do in the station except fingerprint somebody.
Ooh, this is heavy. Sheriff.
You got it on backwards. Any other questions for me?
What is the best thing you like about your job?
Well, the best thing, I guess, is I'm close to home. I work in this area that I live, so I'm able to come to the school here and see you guys at school. I can get home if I have to. So thanks for having me. I love doing this.
How do you remember where everything is?
I'm here almost every day, so it's just natural. I know where everything is, and it's like for customers.
I'll do Jeffrey too.
I can help someone right back here.
How do you know what? How do you know what you ordered?
We have a little handheld device that tells us exactly our trend for the last 5 orders. We look at our sales, and that's how I make sure we find the order.
What is the hardest part about it?
Nothing's hard here.
Thank you.
At stores.
Customer service, just being good with people, being able to manage the staff at the store, make sure they're doing their job, and just provide the products and make sure you have everything the customers need.
How's the involved in other music?
We're actually involved with it. We do the backpack program. So we get a lot of free weeks out to people that need them. The courthouse.
John says hi.
Okay.
Hour for me.
The courthouse, we donate a lot of money to the courthouse. So I know you guys go to the courthouse for much money to play.
I do, but not this year. I'm going.
You going this year? Donate some money for that so we can keep that going.
I'm doing it. I didn't want to be
Any other questions?
How is storage important to our community?
Well, to this community, it's very important because it's the only store in town. So we got to make sure we have all the products here, the bread and milk, eggs, snacks. But it's the only store right now, so it's pretty important to our community.
No, it's not. This one I already.
My name is Anthony, and this is his partner, and we are at the courthouse. What do you do at your job?
What do I do? So we are the historic Salem Courthouse, and we actually were a jail and a county courthouse many, many, many years ago. And probably about 16 years ago, they moved to Fort Edward, New York, and so they were going to close this building down, and they were going to demolish the building. So we don't have no need for this building anymore, so we're going to tear it down. And all these townspeople of Salem came together, Kay Tomasi and William Eberly and Jack Phillips. All these people said, that's nuts. We don't want this building to be destroyed. We want to keep this building. We want the community to use this building. So what do I do, and what happens here is we try to restore the historic Salem Courthouse and make it a beautiful, beautiful place. And we also use it as a community center. So kids come here for a free day camp, do lunch, learn, and play, which starts July 2nd, and it goes through to August 10th. And you do lots of fun programs. We have water slides here, too, and we do a rock wall. We have art classes. We do cooking classes. We explore, that some of the kids take field trips and explore local businesses and Merck Forest and all sorts of things. And the Georgie, have you ever heard of the Georgie? and we go to local farms. So that's just one aspect of it. That's the day camp. And then also in this building, we do art exhibits. There's an art exhibit right now that's happening. You can check it out before you leave. And let's see, what else? We have history lectures here. The Rotary Club meets here. You heard of the Rotary Club? They're a really great organization. They meet here. So this building is really for the whole community. Everybody in the community and the outside community to use and to enjoy.
What is the hardest part of your job?
A lot of coordinating of there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that go on here. So it's trying to get all the information out and let people know all the programs that are going on and coordinating with all the different groups in order to make things happen here. So that's probably the hardest part.
Can you tell me a little bit about the history of the courthouse?
Oh. Okay, so let's see if I can get this right. This building was built in 1869. Yeah, it's really old. And it was the county jail and courthouse. And a fellow by the name of Marcus Cummings was the architect, and he also designed a very famous jail called Attica. And that's one of his famous designs as well. So it was the county jail and courthouse for all of Washington County. And it was that from 1869 up through 2000. And so there's a lot of history.
How old is the jail?
1869. So next year, we are celebrating 50th anniversary. So we're going to have big parties, and we're going to do all sorts of stuff to try to get this place. That's the chef here. She used to be the cook, and there's a kitchen over there. And she said something to me that will always stay with me. And she said, I never asked them what they were in for. I just always treated them with kindness and respect, and they always treated me that way too. So it just shows what kindness can do.
Graffiti on the wall. Merry Christmas.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you, Anthony. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for your time. And if you want to learn more, you can take these with you. And this kind of talks about the different programs that we do.
Today we are at the Salem Post Office, and we have Jack and Dean interviewing Jessica Baylor.
How much mail? Wait, how do you deliver so much mail?
We have lots of cars. We actually have 4 different cars that people deliver the mail today.
How can you fit so much mail in one car?
That is really hard. Sometimes we have to make 2 trips because there's so many packages lately that we don't have enough room in one trip. So the driver has to come back and pick up more and then go back out again. That's how we make it all work. We used to be able to fit it into one vehicle, but then when we started taking the Amazon packages we were talking about, then it became a whole different story because we get a lot of packages now.
How many people come in here a day? Every day?
Every day, a couple hundred. Usually everybody who has a P.O. box, maybe not every day, but on around, I would have to say most everybody picks up their P.O. box mail daily. And we have, actually we just figured it up today, we have 438 P.O. boxes active right now. That's how many people are renting. So, that would be a couple hundred people a day.
So this stuff usually goes on the
What do you
Oh, okay. Because once they're done.
Yep.
Once they're done.
describe your job?
My job is to make sure that the mail gets where it needs to go. When it comes in the morning, I have to make sure each person here gets the mail that they need to have to take to where they need to go with it. And then my job is kind of boring after that point because then I have to sit back here and I have to run reports. Kind of like you guys get report cards at school, we have reports on everything. Every time we use our scanner, every time our drivers leave, I can watch where they are on my computer. That's really kind of neat. I can see what house they're at. So I sit here and I just do reports for the rest of the day. And I answer the phones to make sure that everybody is happy. because a lot of people get unhappy when things don't go right.
Like you did in Cassie.
If something's late or they can't find their package, I answer a lot of those phone calls every day. So I make sure all the mail gets where it needs to go. I run lots of reports, and then I answer the phones and talk to any customers that come in that need to. Does that sound?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I
Thank
hope
you,
guys
boys.
have fun.
Good reporting from the post office.
Hi, this is Mrs. Kratzer. I'm here today with Mr. Pierce from Pizza World and 3 second-grade boys that are going to interview him about his job. And first, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Ben.
Question 1. What do you like most about your job?
I like most is talking to the customers when they come in. When customers come in, I talk to them. Making pizza, I enjoy it. We make a lot of them, so I don't know.
Question 2. What do you do at your job?
Well, I make pizza. We have to make the pizza dough first and get that ready in the morning for the day, and prepare all the, prep everything, get ready so when we're busy at night, then we can just make everything and not run out of anything.
Okay. Next person is Kevin.
There you go, Kevin.
Do you deliver pizza to a house? Does it cost?
There is a delivery charge, but the delivery charge goes towards gas for the driver, so he can drive to the house and not have to spend his own money for his gas and everything. All right.
Question 2. What are some of the more popular kinds of pizza that you sell?
Pepperoni's really popular. Sausage. We sell a lot of calzones. As far as pizza goes, pepperoni is probably the most popular pizza, and sausage is probably second.
The hardest part of your job?
The hardest part of the job is when it gets busy, trying to keep up with all the orders and make sure the deliveries go out on time and everyone's food's ready when they come and pick it up. It's really busy sometimes. Ben, you're welcome. Kevin? Richard?
Hi, we are from the AJ are going to interview you.
Hi. You have a question for me?
What do you like about your job?
Oh, wow. I love a lot of things about my job. My favorite thing is that I live right across the railroad tracks over there, so I get to walk to work every day. That's actually really nice. And, we're not very far from the school, so my kids get to walk to school. All that means I'm not spending time in a car driving somewhere. I get to spend time home with my kids. So that part's really great.
What type of work I need?
Well, my parents had bought this store a while ago. And my wife and I decided to move back to Salem, and I was going to work here mostly so that my boys could live close to their grandma and grandpa. So that's really why we decided to come back here, really for our kids.
Excellent. Okay, Hunter, you can go next.
Do you provide goods or services to the people that live in Salem?
I sure hope we do. Now we wouldn't be here very long. Oh, what is the hardest part of my job? The hardest part is really anytime anybody isn't happy. When we have a customer who's not happy about something, or when one of the people who work for me isn't happy, you have to do what you can to make it better. But it's never really pleasant to be with people who aren't happy about something that they're not happy with you about. So keeping a smile on your face and trying to be as helpful as you can in those moments, I think that's the hardest part of the job.
How do you know what thing is good or good?
Oh, that's something we could always be better at. There are a lot of things that we sell regularly. I mean, obviously, when people are buying the same feed for the same animals, the animals are about the same amount. So we have a pretty good idea on a lot of those things. But there are a lot of things we see that we can buy that we like, so we buy hoping other people will like too. And on top of that, there are a lot of things people come in asking for. So when people are asking for things, we're happy to try to get them. Oh, thank you guys. It's a lot of fun.
I'm Chloe, and this is Logan. We are going to be talking to Miss. How do you inspect a pool? What kind of training have you had?
Well, to inspect a pool, there's two ways. You can either go underwater with scuba diving and look for problems, or I have this special electronic device. So I shock the swimming pool and I can measure how much electricity is in the water, and it brings me right to the holes in the liner. So you have to learn how to use that special equipment.
What is your favorite part of your job?
Well, probably working with my wife. She's a great person to work with. And then second, going underwater for a long time and not coming up and just enjoying being underwater. Scuba diving.
Okay.
Why do you have to inspect a pool?
Well, to inspect a pool, you have to do a couple different things. First, you have to walk around the pool and see that it's safe, because pools can be places that trouble can happen. You don't want to have electrical cords near a pool, and you don't want to have glass near a pool. So first thing I do is make sure the pool is safe. And then there's a big pump that makes the pool run. It cleans the pool. And I go over to that and I check out the pump and see if it's working, if there's any leaks coming out of it. And if there's no leaks there, then I start looking at the underwater part of the pool, and I use special equipment to see if there's holes in the pool. And if there are, then I get to scuba dive and go down and fix them.
What do you use to inspect a pool?
I will show you a piece of equipment. It hooks up to this little black box, and it shocks it. It puts electricity in the pool. And then, on the end of this really long pole, can you see that big yellow pole all the way across? We put this on there, and that hooks up to this. And this listens for holes in the pool using electricity. And when I get to a hole, it goes beep, 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 beep. So I throw a quarter in the pool, and I push the coin right on the hole, so when I go underwater, I can find it. You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
Good morning, this is Mrs. Stocco, and I am here at Laura's Garden with Cahill and Molly, and they're going to be interviewing one of Salem's graduates that works here. They're going to be interviewing Chelsea, and I'm going to hand the microphone over to Cahill.
What are your favorite colors and your favorite flower?
My favorite color is yellow. Love yellow. And my favorite flower is a sunflower because it's yellow and it's just very beautiful.
How do you know what to...
Laura really orders all the flowers. I just get them in the morning and I clean them.
Why do you like your job, or why not?
I love my job. I love flowers. I grew up loving flowers. When I was a little girl, I would go out and pick all the dandelions and make a little flower crown, and I just absolutely love flowers.
Why do you sell flowers?
We sell flowers because they make people's day, they make people happy, and they make people feel cared about.
Thank you, Chelsea, for the beautiful flowers.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chelsea.
You're welcome.
We are here at New You Hair Salon, and we have Sylvia, Peyton, and Gavin, and they're going to be interviewing Stacy.
What things do you do for people when they come to New You?
Well, a couple of things that we do is that we sit them down. Sometimes we have a consultation with them if they're a new client, and we talk about what their goals are for their hair and what they actually are looking for to get done. And so we discuss that, and then we try to do exactly what they say. Sometimes they bring in a picture, and that helps us out tremendously. And then we try to make them beautiful and happy when they leave.
What did you have to do to get your job?
Well, I went to school for this when I was actually in high school, which is a great program through BOCES. It's a cosmetology program, and it's a 2-year course, and there is summer school because you need, I believe, 1,000 hours. Now unless they increased it, but it was 1,000 hours to become a cosmetologist. So I went to school in my junior and senior year, and then at the end of my senior year, I went for my temporary license, and then I went for my license, and I got a job, so which is pretty good because I was only 17 when I graduated, so I've been cutting hair ever since I was 17.
Thank you. Over to Peyton.
Peyton.
What is the hardest part of your job?
People. I love people. I love working with people, but people can be tough to work with because you have different personalities that come in all the time, and you really have to be a people person. You really have to like being around people, and you have to kind of change the way you might feel for that day. I might feel come in a little bit grouchy, but I can't do that because I always have to put on a smile and always have to make my customer feel good about themselves no matter what I'm going through, because they come in and they pay me for a service and they really don't care what I feel like for the day. They just want to go out looking really nice and feeling good about themselves.
Do you provide the people in Salem with goods or services or both?
I do, well, I did do both, but right now we're just strictly service. So you come in and you ask for a haircut, color, perm, or something like that, and that would be a service. At one time when I had a bigger salon, I carried products, and so this way if you needed shampoo, conditioner, mousse, gel, hairspray, or anything like that, even nail polish we did, you could buy that from us, and this would be easier for you instead of going to the store. But we're just too small right here right now. We don't have enough room for a big display.
Going over to Gavin. How many people come to your salon?
Oh, that's a good question. On an average, daily, probably anywhere between 15-20 people daily. If it's a good day, we usually do about anywhere between 15 haircuts a day, and then sometimes we have to do colors and perms. So daily we're looking at, we'll go low as 10 people a day to at least 20.
How do you cut hair?
Good questions. I ask myself that sometimes. How do I cut hair? There's days I wonder, but you got to go to school for it. It's basically an art. It's a talent. I don't know. I can't draw stick figures to save my life, but I can actually make something. I can make your hair look like something. Like I could take your long hair and do it really short and spunky and funky, and that's a way of doing art. Also, is working with the hair. So it takes a lot of years of practice and going to school to learn how to cut hair, but it's a lot of fun. You don't ever feel like you're working.
Thank you, Penny.
You're welcome.
Thank you for running this interview.
Oh, no problem. It was my pleasure. I enjoyed it. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you, New You.
Thank you, you.
Hi, today we have Nate, and he is going to interview Mrs. Luke Bick to see what it's like to be a teacher in our community.
Why do you like your job?
Thank you for asking me that. I like my job because I get to do my favorite thing, work with kids and math.
Okay. How do you remember all the students' names?
Well, that's a really good question. I remember their names because when I talk to them, I look right at their eyes and I almost think about their face when I'm talking. And I always, I don't know, call them by their name during school, so it's easy to remember.
How did you become a math teacher?
Well, you have to do well in school, and then you go to college, and then you get to practice a little bit with other teachers that let you come into your classroom. But it takes some hard work, and you have to know your math facts. Does that make sense? Yeah. Are you going to be a math teacher? You don't know.
Thing about math.
Numbers. Adding and subtracting and multiplying and dividing. And then the thing that makes me the happiest is when I'm teaching something to a kid and they make this face. I love that look. Have you ever seen that look? Well, wait a minute. I see that look sometimes from you.
What is it like to work with Gloria?
Well, Gloria is a lovely little girl, but there are times when she needs a pleasant reminder to raise her hand and not call out. But you know what? She's got some really great questions, and I like the way her mind works. And I like that we can teach her by showing her how to cooperate. We can teach her because the other kids help her too. But she's a handful.
Next, we have Daniel, who will be interviewing Mrs. Luke Bick. Go ahead, Daniel.
Will we do harder math in third grade?
Well, yes, you will. But you know what's going to make it easy? If you know your math facts.
Why did you decide to do a math
Teacher job? Why did I want to be a math teacher? Well, don't tell the other kids this, Daniel, but math is the most fun. Ready?
Thank you, Mrs. Lopez.
Signing off
From
Salem Central School. Bye-bye.